Hi. During the last few weeks since the release of Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I heard a lot of talk about the unsustainable place AAA games have found themselves in. And I also heard a lot about the critiques and compliments concerning Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. To be fair, in the news, these two topics have been discussed separately. The conversation regarding the state of game production revolves around the unending wave of layoffs flooding the industry for some time now, while the discourse concerning the quality of FF7 Rebirth has to do with the currently active review period the game is still enjoying. To me personally, it's only natural that after that shiny new thing loses its fresh new smell, it starts to settle into a realistic place among its similar business types. In this case, gaming probably belongs with entertainment and the likes of film and TV. But the difference between them is that those fields of entertainment found their sweet spots, while gaming just seems to be growing in size rather than quality. That's the state in which we find ourselves today. And to me, it looks like a sign that the hype is finally winding down and the industry is slowly settling into place. And there you have it. Gaming will no longer be the secret little nook that a few of us occupy, nor the fresh new thing in entertainment. It's starting to look like a typical commercial business with its own sets of rules and players. During that final period of commercialization, everyone tried to put their foot into the door of what was then a brand new business opportunity, hoping that their hook on the concept would get them in the lead. They would throw money and creativity, hoping it would stick. So now, when it's been established what works and what doesn't, it's time to dial it back and settle into its final form. So of course, unfortunately, we have downsizing. I honestly don't know why anybody was surprised about this. Business has always been a cold climate, and it wasn't realistic to think it would be any different here. It was inevitable. Now, in my opinion, FF7 Rebirth marks an excellent direction of this final form of game development. And that's the connecting point of these two topics. Because with this project, Square established a framework of systems and assets with Remake and simply used them to make the continuation in a significantly shorter time frame than this level of project would previously ever allow. And unburdened by solving workarounds and normal development problems and bugs, the developers now had time to perfect on what they have already built. That's a great direction, if you ask me. The problem arises when we get back to the one place that still expects and judges games by how cutting edge and polished they are. And of course, I mean the reviews. At least if we talk about the AAA titles. And yes, we can't blame the reviewers for that. It's just part of the process. If something exists that's better or worse, the comparison has to be made to try and retain at least a somewhat objective picture. But in my opinion, it's only hurting the industry in the end, because unfortunately, we live in an age now that mostly sells the games based on the opinion of others. When I was a kid, we would simply see something that looked cool, buy it, and come out with our own conclusions. But not anymore. We get our opinions from a third party often without even trying the product. So it gets me a little irritated when I see someone complaining about unoptimized quality and performance, or the details of some filler assets or filler content not being on the same level as the main ones. I get it. It's mostly trivial, but it's still content and needs to be out there to give us the full picture. But personally, it still saddens me because it's still power which shapes opinion that could be used to praise the bigger picture. Which is, in my opinion, in this example at least, worth the praise. And that's the important thing to point out here. Just like films that sometimes want to impress you with the latest technology, it can hurt them down the line when the same technology becomes outdated. But if you use technique, writing, and the right direction, a movie can become timeless. So why not use the same logic in gaming? I mean, screw the newest thing, physical accuracy, high fidelity, and the highest resolution. Yesterday's tech is good enough, and yesterday's tech will always get better in the same rate as today's. It's just more manageable. I'm just asking you to optimize your resources to make something good in reasonable time. And leave the cutting edge stuff to be showcased where it's meant to do so. Like animation, for example. Like I said, the FF7 remake trilogy seems to be going in the right direction. But a 4-year development cycle is still a little too long for me. But it's a good start. Just don't let this trend be an isolated case. Learn something from it and just keep it up.